It's June 16th, 2023, and I've got 3 free best bets for you. Let's dive into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks, plays of the day as we try to make some money and run up the bag. Yesterday, we did not have a winning day, unfortunately. We went 1-2 on the day. We cashed in on our Nerfy. We did cash on our Nerfy today. Shout out to the Twins and the Tigers for getting that one done. We did lose on the Astros over. I mean, that one was a shutout all the way up into like extra innings, and we still almost had a chance to get over there. And then we did lose on the 2-leg parlay as Freddie Freeman did get a hit, but Tatis, as he walked twice and he did not get a hit. But that's why sometimes you got to look at total bases instead of hits, because if we did take the total bases, we could have cashed. It's all good. 1-2 on the day. You can see our year-to-date record right here, still over 500, and we're going to look to run it back today. To run it up, we need to finish the week strong. As always, Fridays, we like to finish the week strong. And as always, make sure that you're liking and subscribing to the channel, so this way you guys can stay up to date on all my favorite picks and plays. We've got a new type of video coming out for you next week. Those are going to be our educational betting tips, where I kind of show you some of the things that I do in my research, how to handicap different sports, so this way you guys can be able to find your winning plays as well. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, clicking that bell, so this way you can stay up to date on all the latest videos. Now let's dive into our first best bet. Now for our first best bet of the day, I'm going with the first 5 total, and I'm going to the Angels and Royals game, first 5 over 4.5 runs. The best odds I've seen is -120 on Bovada. And in this matchup, we've got Patrick Sandoval, and he's facing Brady Singer. And listen, this is going to be a very interesting matchup because both of these pitchers, they give up a ton of runs. That's why it was really hard for me to like take one side, a team total on one side. Even though I do think the Angels will get the win in this matchup, I just can't really trust either pitcher. Now, Brady Singer on the mound for the Royals, he's 4-5 on the year. He has a 6.58 ERA, and in his last start, he went 4 1/3 innings. He gave up 6 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 home run, and 3 walks versus the Orioles, right? So that's not really what you want to see. Well, I guess it's what we want to see since we're taking the over. And when you really take a look at the numbers, the Angels really score a lot of their runs in the first 5 innings. They're 5th in the majors in first 5 runs per game, averaging over 3 runs. Now, like I said, that alone makes me want to take the Angels over 2.5 first 5, but it's really tough because, you know, Sandoval, he has not been in good form himself either. And truthfully, if you're looking at the Angels on the money line, the numbers say you might want to be a little hesitant there because the Angels have lost his last 5 starts on the money line in games that he's started. So that's really tough to see. He's 3-6 on the year with a 4.52 ERA. And in his last start against the Mariners, he went 5 innings, gave up 10 hits, 5 earned runs, and 1 home run. And the game before that, he played the Astros. He went 3 1/3 innings, 8 hits, 8 earned runs, 3 walks. So he has not been in really good form at all. So that's why it's really hard for me to back him here. So because of that, I think both of these pitchers are bound to give us a few runs. We just need 5, maybe 3 from one team, 2 from the other one, 4-1, something like that. And when you look at the numbers as well, Kansas City is 27th out of 30 in opponents' first 5 runs per game. So they give up an average of over 3 runs per game. Again, the Angels are 5th in first 5 runs per game, getting about 3. And then the Angels, they're not much better on the defensive side, as they're 20th out of 30, giving up over 2.5 runs per game in the first 5. So both of these teams typically tend to give a lot of runs in the first 5. We see a kind of higher total here at 9.5. So I think a lot of runs will be scored quick and early in this one. Ohtani's been hot. He's been smacking bombs coming off of that Rangers series. So because of that, I think he should be able to maybe give us one. And then we should also be able to get a few help from some of the other guys as well. So give me the Angels and Royals first 5, 4.5 runs as my first best bet of the day. Now for my second best bet of the day, you guys know I got to run with the Nerfy here. Well, Nerfies have been keeping us live this week. I can't lie to you. We went through a little cold streak with Nerfies, and we've come back strong. And I'm going to the Marlins and Nationals Nerfy in this one. At the time that I'm recording this video, I'm not really finding too many odds out on this one. So make sure you guys are shopping around on doing your due diligence on your books. If it's over -150 or so, I would say maybe you want to parlay that with the Padres and Rays Nerfy. But either way, I really like both of those Nerfies, the Padres and Rays Nerfy, and then this one, Marlins and Nationals. But this is my favorite one of the day because we've got Sandy Alcantara on the mound, and he's facing facing Trevor Williams. Now, the Marlins, they're one of the worst scoring teams in the first inning in all of baseball. I mean, they're up there with the Mets in terms of the least amount of runs scored in the first inning. So that's why I always keep taking the Nerfies when the Marlins are playing. They have not scored a run in the first inning in 11 straight games. That's right, 11 straight games. They have not scored a run in the first inning. Their Nerfie success rate is 84%. That's killer right there, 84%. And then when you look at Trevor Williams for the Nationals, he's been equally as strong in the first inning. He's 11-2 on the year, so we love to see that. And on the other side, we've got Sandy Alcantara. You guys know I love to back the ace. He has had his struggles this year in the later innings, but in the first inning, he's been very supreme. He's been very solid. 12-1 on the year in Nerfies this year, and including hitting his last 3 in a row. And then the Nationals as well, they have not been scoring a lot of runs in the first inning. They have a 70% Nerfie success rate, and they've gone 4 straight games without scoring a run in the first inning. So that's all I need. Just give me 6 outs. Let's sweat it. And like I said, if the odds are too high on your book, maybe you want to parlay that with the Padres and Rays as well, because we've got Shane McClanahan and Yu Darvish going on in that matchup, which I really like as well. Going for my final best bet of the day, I got a 2-team steamer here, and I'm going with the Padres plus 1.5, and I'm going with the D-Bats plus 1.5. That gets you to about odds about plus 115 or so, depending on where you get the odds at. And listen, if you're not in the Telegram group, make sure you're clicking the link below in the bio, so this way you can join that group, because the 2-team steamers have been rocking. Now, I know the picks that I'm putting out on YouTube have not been doing too hot, but I've been doing well inside the group. I've been dropping plus 100 winners like crazy, and you got to take advantage of that. And I really think that we should be able to grab another one. Last night, I called out the White Sox plus 1.5 and the Guardians plus 1.5. No sweat bet there. So tonight, I think we should be able to run it back again with a plus 1.5 2-team steam winner, because like I mentioned earlier, we've got a pitching matchup in this Padres matchup that I really like. And you're probably like, Noble, you're fading Shane McClanahan for the Rays? Like, what are you doing? The guy's 10-1 on the year. He's got a 2.18 ERA, right? And like, don't get me wrong, I'm not necessarily fading him. I'm still a big fan of McClanahan. You guys know that because you've been tapped into the channel. But baseball is a game of streaks. And obviously, the Rays are one of the hottest teams in the league, but guess what? We're starting to see them starting to slow down a little bit, and the Padres, who started off the year a little bit slow, they're starting to pick it up a little bit, and now they're getting healthy. We see Machado back on the lineup, Tatis is finding his form, and because of that, I really think the Padres have a chance to be able to get to the Rays here, because after starting off the year slow, the Padres are winners of 5 of their last 7, and they've been hitting left-handed pitchers really, really well. In the month of June, they're 3rd in isolated power against left-handed pitchers and number 1 in team OPS against lefties. That's what I really love to see. And then when you look at McClanahan on the other side, he's been slowing down a little bit, and he's been giving up a lot of home runs. He's given up a home run in each of his last 3 starts. That's not what you want to see, especially against a star-studded lineup like the Padres, who can knock one out at any time, who can turn up and crush one out of the park, especially at home. And then when you look at Yu Darvish, who's on the mound for the Padres, he's been really strong at home. 2.86 ERA at Petco Park this year, 45 strikeouts, only 10 walks, and 11 earned runs in 37 innings at home. That's what I really love to see. And to help bolster that even more, opponents' batting average is at .214 when Darvish is pitching at home. So I really love to see that. And like I mentioned, the Rays have been slowing down. We saw that in that last series against the A's. Their bats are not hitting as many runs. Their bullpen is regressing. They gave a lot of late runs to the Athletics. They almost lost another game yesterday. They hit a late home run to get them over the board. Thank goodness, because I was on the Rays money line. But listen, I think this is a chance where we can see the Padres win this game outright on the money line. But because of that, I'm just going to take the 1.5 run line here, because I think that's where the value is, just in case they lose the game by 1. But I do like the Padres' chance. They've been playing a lot better baseball of late. The Rays have been slowing down, especially on this road trip. So give me the Rays plus 1.5 as the first leg of the parlay. And now in the second matchup, we have Zach Gallen going for the D-backs and Tristan McKenzie going for the Guardians. And if you tapped into the channel again, you guys know I love Zach Gallen, especially at home. He's 6-0 this year at home with a .96 ERA. That's right, an ERA under 1 at home. He's only given up 5 earned runs and 1 home run to go with 60 strikeouts and an opponent's batting average of under 200 in 47 innings at home this year. So that's what I really love to see. And after struggling in the last matchup against the Tigers, Dodgers, where he gave up 5 earned runs on the road. I think this is a good bounce back spot for Gallen and the D-backs, especially against a Guardians team. Yeah, they're doing a little bit better offensively as of late, but listen, they still are not all the way there offensively. They're still 19th in batting average in the league and 24th in slugging percentage. So because of that, I really think they're going to have a hard time getting to Gallen, who's got his strikeout stuff working. And then because of that, I think runs are going to come a little bit tougher for them. And then when you look at Tristan McKenzie on the other side, he's not my favorite pitcher to back. After a strong start to the year in his first start, we saw him struggle in his last matchup against the Astros. He went 5 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 5 earned runs, and 1 home run. And listen, he's one of those guys, he's a pitch to contact guy. He pitches really high in the 90s and low 100s. He pitches hard, so he gives up a lot of sharp contact. And we know this D-backs team can certainly turn on some baseballs. They're 5th in the league in slugging percentage, and you know they can score runs in a flurry. We saw that yesterday. They were down 3-0, then they came back and took a 4-3 lead before losing 5-4. The game before that, they were losing 3-0 before hitting a 3-run home run in the 8th. So like, they always have the ability to score run in bunches, and that's tough, especially when you got a pitch to contact guy like Tristan McKenzie. And listen, I don't need either of these teams to win. I don't need the Padres to win. I don't need the Diamondbacks to win. I just need them to not lose by more than 2. I believe that they can both be able to get that done today, so this way we can double our money here. So give me the Padres plus 1.5, the D-backs plus 1.5. You should be able to get to plus 100 value, even though I do think that both of these teams should win on the money line as my final and last best bet of the day. Well, that's it for me today, my friends. The brooms have been getting a little dusty. I'm ready to sweep the board. I'm ready to come back with a fire. We need a winning day to end off the week. So hopefully that this is that video where we do that. I really like these picks today. And like I mentioned before, make sure you join the Telegram group so this way you can stay up to date with all my best bets. We've got an early game in the Orioles matchup today that I might have a pick in it as well. We've got tennis going on in there. I put out a WNBA winner yesterday. So there's a lot of plays that we're dropping inside the Telegram group that you definitely don't want to miss out on, especially because these YouTube videos, I have to do the research early. I got to get the information early. So it's a little bit different when you get to handicap it a little bit later, when you got more information, more time to do research, and to really dive into the numbers. So make sure you're doing that. And again, liking the channel and subscribing so you can stay up to date on all the latest news that we have. I appreciate y'all tapping in. And as always, dictate your fate. And I can't wait to see you make some money. Let's get after it, guys. Later. Have a good weekend and be safe.